Give you a couple of those bad boys right there just to get us started. So today, guys, we got some Royal Oak tumbleweeds. Oh man, we're gonna get that fire started. A little cold, a little brisk out there today, so I ain't got time to mess around. We get the real charcoal starters. I don't do no imitation crap on this channel. Yeah, little Kingsford there. Yeah, y'all know I do that Kingsford or that Royal Oak, or I'll do B&B, whoever's got the price. Yeah, gotta get that butane torch lighter, man. Those tumbleweeds, they light really easy, guys, and they're hot enough to actually light your coal or your wood or whatever. So, if you've never tried Royal Oak tumbleweeds, guys, starters, do it. Don't accept any cheaper knockoffs. Get the real thing. Plus, they're going to be available in any real grocery store that you go into, so that's why I like them. Oh, we got a straggler. Oh, yeah. Now it's time to open up a coldie. See if it's good and cold. Yep, it'll hit the spot every time, that cold beer will. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, where did that thing go? Where did it go? I'm reaching around. I must be reaching for something. What is it? Oh, yeah. Camacho de Macho Way. Camacho de Macho Way. It's a beautiful cigar made by Camacho / Davidoff out of, I believe it's either Nicaragua or somewhere down in Dominican Republic. It's a really good shade-grown Connecticut wrapper. It's a really nice product. If you guys smoke cigars, check them out. They're light, but they're full of flavor. And unless you just puff them down real quick, you don't get too much nicotine sickness. So that's why I enjoy it. Cold beer and a cigar and a good barbecue, guys. It just doesn't get no better. God bless Texas. All right, let's see what's doing. So you got a nice little piece of pecan wood there. Put that down in the baby smoker, baby Weber smoker. Throw them coals right on top, guys. It's that simple. Get a little flavor on whatever protein it is that we're going to cook, which we will soon find out what it is. If you guys haven't already seen, it's going to be a beautiful one, guys. Absolutely beautiful one. Let's get our grate on there and burn off all the yucks. Where we go from there. Here you see the wood burning down nice. Got a good hot bed of coals there, which is always important, guys. Know your fire. All right, guys, so HEB, right? It's my first trip to the new HEB in Plano. We've got a prime ribeye here, guys, that my friend Kevin Allgood down in Austin, you told me I got to try their prime ribeye, so here you go. This one's for you, buddy. Also, Trumpet Master 77. Gonna put a little salt, a little pepper on it, guys. Throw it on that bad boy right there and get after it. Now, this knife, guys, this is actually a handmade knife, okay, by my boy Chucky Nuts. Now, that handle, guys, you'll see the blank goes all the way through. The blank is ones he buys and makes knives out of them. But that handle is elk antler. He goes out hunting elk, and that was one of the antlers that he got. I think that was a shed antler he told me that he used that knife out of. But I really enjoy the knife. It goes in my tackle box everywhere I go. I have actually slit a hog's throat with that knife, so it does do the job. So we actually cooked that hog, and the leg was pretty good. But here's a look at that ribeye, guys. Look at all the marbling there. It's a good sized steak. It's about 21 ounces, I think it was. It's got a nice spinalis on it there, you know, the rib cap. And I'm just going to hit it with a little kosher salt, guys. And I'll hit it with some pepper at the end. But I don't like to do my pepper before I grill it because I don't want it to burn. I try to get that thing 600-700 degrees if I can. You know, that steak is kind of laying right there on the fire, so I don't like to burn up. You know, salt is a mineral. It will not burn. Or not at this low heat. It'll melt, but it won't melt at the low heat that we're cooking. We'll hit it, like I said, with some pepper as we're finishing it. A lot of people don't know that peppering your steak before you cook it, if you're right on the fire like I am, it's not a good thing. So I like to get my edges, guys, because you'll see I'm gonna cook those edges. I'm gonna get that fat. I'm gonna render that fat off the edges because, guys, good quality steak fat, you know, man, it tastes good when it's charred. It tastes really, 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 really good. So I like to eat that outside fat, but I like to char it up good. And you'll see me do that here in just a minute. But look at that beautiful piece of meat, guys. No pepper, just all salt. And you'll probably see me hit it with more salt. Yeah, it needs more salt. Guys, when you think you've oversalted your steak, hit it with some more salt. Salt is the steak's best friend. You will not oversalt it. It's got so much fat that's going to be pushing out of there. It's going to be rendering a lot of that salt out of there. So you don't have to worry so much about the salt content. That's a big piece of meat. It can handle it. And that's what you want to see, guys, the immediate sizzle and the sear that's going to happen to this steak. Now, guys, I think I've told you I am not a Thermopin user. I used to be, but it was a piece of garbage. And so I just relied on my spidey senses. Guys, I can smell it. I can smell that cook and know where she's at. I can look at the top of that meat and know when it's time to turn it 45 degrees, or 90 degrees, sorry. You can see here we flipped it. Got a good char on that bottom. And that's not burnt pepper, guys, because remember, we haven't put any pepper on there yet. That is the proteins and the sugars coming out of that meat that give us that color. But if you could smell the steak cooking right now like Starsky does, guys, it's a smell that it's just a beautiful thing, right? Beautiful thing. And I'm kind of keeping my eye and my nose on the steak. You know, I have a big nose. Anybody that knows me knows my nose is quite large. Well, there's a reason for that. I got to know where my cook is even if I can't see it. I don't have a big nose. I think I have a proportionate nose, but who knows? There's my Thermopin guy right there. You see what I just did? I just touched it. I know exactly where that steak is. Now, for all of you folks going, oh, dude, it looks a little dark, looks a little crispy, looks a little crunchy. Just wait for the final reveal. You'll see that I don't need a Thermopin for 50 or 60 or 90 bucks. I don't need poke holes in my meat and let all the juices drip out. I smell it, I look at it, and I touch it if there's any doubt. But otherwise, guys, I just let her rip tater chip. And remember, guys, my whole goal here is to show you that you can go out in your backyard and do the same thing I'm doing. This is not the big pit. This is a little bitty Weber that I won in a golf tournament years and years ago. We're going to hit it with a little Worcestershire sauce there, guys, just at the last, okay? It's a great umami flavor. It's a fermented product. Has some salt, some sugar in there, some garlic, some anchovy paste. And guys, anytime you cook a steak, finish it off with that, either butter or Worcestershire sauce. But yeah, anybody can do this, guys. And if you see a little flame up, don't be worried. That's that fat I told you about. It's rendering. That smells so delicious. Oh yeah, babe, look at there. Let's get the sides. Oh yeah, look at the color. Now guys, if I could bottle that smell and sell it on the interwebs, you wouldn't have to watch my stupid videos. You could just go buy it direct. But this guy's just about done. We're gonna do the sides, the edges here, and then we're gonna take them off and rest them. And then we're gonna go in the kitchen and we're gonna do some veg, because you need a good veg to go with the HEB Prime ribeye. There we go. That's what I wanted you to see, guys, right there. So we're standing that steak up on its side, and we're charring that fat, that spinalis fat off of there, because we want it to be on there, we want the flavor, but we just don't want all the grease, right? So all we're doing is we're rendering that down. A lot of that is melting into the fire, kissing the fire, coming back up, hitting the steak. Again, that's a lot of flavor, guys. That's a whole lot of flavor right there. Do the inside of it, which there's not near as much fat on that bone side, so you don't see as much reaction going on there. Look at that. Look at that. Guys, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but that is, you know, if you're cooking a steak at home, just please watch these videos. If you're not really familiar on times, you know, just play with it, guys. Just play with it. On mine, I go about, 12 minutes aside on a big steak like that. 12 minutes aside is plenty. 6 minutes, do it 90 degrees. After that, flip it over, 6 minutes, 90 degrees. And then what you do is, you see I'm hitting it with pepper there. Okay. Hitting it with a little pepper there at the last. Okay. A little Worcestershire sauce. Cover that with foil. And we're going to go inside and do our veg. That steak's going to continue to cook now, guys. Okay, it's not done doing its thing yet, but it's going to carry over, go about another 10 degrees. So remember, whenever you're pulling it, you always have to account for carryover, especially if you're wrapping your steak. Let's go inside, guys. What do you think? Okay, so here we've got a pan heating up to medium-high heat. Gonna hit some extra virgin in there. Everybody says don't use olive oil for sauteing. I've been doing it for 100 years, and here I am. So I don't know who says that olive oil is bad for you at high temps. I don't know. Could be, maybe not. I just don't have the money right now to invest in avocado oil. We're going to hit with a little olive oil, a little butter, right? Butter makes it better, right? Now, guys, this is a trick I learned just, being in chef's kitchens. Always cut it 50-50, olive oil and butter. And use a little bit more than you think you might need when you're sauteing, because that also acts as your sauce. Now, I'm going to be putting frozen vegetables in there, as you'll see. These came from HEB as well. Okay, Prince Edward Medley. This is a really good vegetable blend. I highly recommend it. But they are frozen solid. And that pan is very hot, so here you go. You can hear it sizzle, but at least you're not getting the aggressive backsplash that you would normally get from water ice crystals, being introduced to the hot pan. And a lot of that is because of the butter, the fat in the butter and the fat in the olive oil kind of tone that down a little bit. And we're just going to simply saute these veg until they get a good dark color on them and I get the flavor in them that I want. With vegetables, obviously I rely on their flavors and their sugars primarily. So salt and sugar, right? Savory and sweet. That's a really good balance, right? Salty and sweet. That is the unctuousness that you get when you eat a really good high heat sauteed vegetable. And of course, you got to get a second beer in on it. Oh yeah, so good. You can hear those vegetables are absolutely frozen solid. That is a Calphalon commercial grade pan, so it is a very heavy pan. So it looks like I'm struggling to shape that into flip it. Well, then I am. It's a pretty heavy pan. And you know, guys, my back still is not 100% at all. So just doing the best I can. Fold more butter in here, a little bit more salt. For this, I'm using the pink Himalayan sea salt and a little bit of black pepper. Okay, guys, we're just going to cut this up and see what we got. And guys, this is your payoff. That is medium rare on the inside. Medium rare, perfectly cooked. And that was no Thermopren, no Thermopin, no Thermopro, no sticking holes in your meat and all that. Jeez, man, what did that steak ever do to you, folks? It's already dead. I'm trying to kill it again. Anyway, there comes a time in a cook's life when he just kind of trusts his senses, you know, and relies heavily on those senses. Wash our hands. Always wash our hands, guys. Always, always, always. Here's your reveal, guys. You got your veg in the background and your beautifully cooked steak. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? And of course, we had to add some HEB green sauce as per Kevin Allgood. He told me to do it, so here you go, guys. Highly recommend this stuff. It's jalapenos, poblanos, serranos, and I think there's one other, ancho chilies maybe, with some sour cream and some other stuff in there, guys. Really, really good stuff. That sauce is good on everything. But I thought I'd use it like a chimichurri for the steak. Not that the steak needed any more flavor. And guys, look at this texture. Look at this. Look at this. Guys, look at that. Oh, man, it looked all caramelized and crispy out there, didn't it? But now look. Oh, God. That's delicious. And, guys, this is not hard to do. You sat there and watched me do it. If you've sat through this whole video, I sure do appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. But, guys, this is something you can do at home. I want everybody to try this. Thank you so much for watching. I just love you guys, you know. Thanks so much for watching. A little bit of that green sauce on that sweet carrot. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Barbecue Rockstar out.